Nobody takes down Angelsnupnup7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angelsnupnup7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angelsnupnup7. But you don't take me seriously, and now your ass is barbecued.
Hey, man, you won me over, Snupnup. Man, you won me over. Man, you crazy as a bed bug, but you won me over. I think you're nutty. I think you nutty as a 13 acres of peanuts with George Carver used to own that back down the South. But you a smart guy.
Well, according to psychiatry, everybody's nutty.
Nah, I think you're crazy.
Yeah, so.
I'm just messing with you.
The Mississippi campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation. The ability to control your own resources. Your politics. The law. Be able to do your own thing for a chance. Create an economy. Create and produce goods that Africa or anybody on the planet would want. You're fake, you don't want to do nothing. 3 hours talking about the Mississippi campaign. So why don't y'all pitiful pieces of trash, sewer rats and your thieves and you cyber stalking trolls, why don't y'all get together and have a conference and talk about what y'all have done? Conference won't last long, maybe 5 minutes, because Aquan has done nothing. Nollywood have done nothing. People all over the world. Donate to Aquan. I got the answer. I can handle the hard question. See, they say that Angelsnupnup7 don't care about the people. But Angelsnupnup7 cares about the people because I'm bold enough to tell you the truth, and I don't give a damn if you give me a dime. I'm not looking for your money.
black people. It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
For me, I had to keep making plain simple. Bringing knowledge and fire and reality. My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move with me. Like that the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire and reality's temple.
I'm Soul Sister J. I'm Soul Sister D. And I just wanted to say thank you for all the people who helped to the medical fundraiser for my uncle Taalik. And it has meant so much to us that you would help, because without you guys, his life would not be possible and we would not be with him today right now. And I just wanted to say, for all of you that helped and that donated, I would really like to give a big thanks. And I hope that I can meet you one day and say thank you in person. I love you guys. And bye. Bye. He's forever and always. He's forever and always. He's forever and always.
Everybody join.
Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Gots to have that. It's
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Keep it real.
What, dear?
Cause I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly.
Is you between the ages of 45 and 85 years old and don't have life insurance? What your loved one gonna do if you die all of a sudden? And maybe because you going down the street and somebody with a mask might shoot you or something. Stick them up. Do you have insurance? Do you have insurance? Now, if you don't have insurance, maybe the robber might say, wait till you get insurance and he'll come back. You know what I'm saying? So, if you between the ages of 45 and 85, you don't have life insurance, what your family gonna do? Should you die
all of a sudden, gotta take good of your family. This is where my cousin, Dr. Umar Johnson, come in. Not only can you send your family to the Effermadin Gentleman Academy for boys, but you can get your life insurance also. It covers you at a good price, like $10,000 a month. Cover you a good, is that too high? $8,000 a month. Oh, yeah. And it can cover you and your family. So you don't have to pay high funeral charges. No. And guess what? You can do cocaine. Yeah, you can do cocaine. Now, Sniffy, I don't do cocaine. No. We don't. Dr. Umar Johnson and Pat African and stuff, we don't do cocaine. No, we don't do cocaine. Oh, what's this I got? That's ancestor powder. You give honor to the ancestor and you throw a little powder, and before you throw it all away, you might get a little sniff of it a little bit, just a little taste. Ancestor powder. Sniff. You don't want your loved ones to be denied, get all your debts and stuff. So Dr. Umar Johnson, who facilitate the FDMG life insurance, when you die, we'll pay for your funeral. And sure will. And you can do crack cocaine. And you can drink you a little beer. Like Sniff. That good. And you can do methamphetamines and you can do other stuff that you like, and your funeral still get paid for. And there's no limitation. My cousin, Dr. Umar Johnson, he thought about everything. Yeah, he thought about everything. And the coffin is big. You can put your goat or a table or some other gambling implements in your coffin. So when you go to heaven, you can still keep gambling. Oh, Sniffy, I'm going to have a few cases of beer in my coffin. Don't listen to those other people. The F.D.M. Jimin's Academy Life Insurance is the good stuff. Pay for everything. As an extra bonus, you can send your boys to the F.D.M. Academy for boys. And for each funeral, Dr. Umar Johnson will give you your eulogy. And he'll spread ancestor powder. This is for the homies. Oh, why you ain't never seen a F.D.M. G funeral like you seen. Bah. So before you don't throw your money away with them white people, stop giving your money to them white people. Give your money to somebody you can trust. Dr. Umar Johnson, the FDMG Academy Life Insurance. And you gonna get your funeral when we open up this school. Take it from your boy, SNIFFY. Sniff. My throat getting dry. Sorry about that, y'all. Stop giving your money to the white people. Support black business. FDM Gentlemen Academy Life Insurance is a black-owned business. And y'all should support black-owned. We can put you in the ground just like everybody else, right? Is the white man's shovel better than the black man's shovel? Is a white man casket better than a black man casket? No. And you get everything for a good price. 1-800-FDMG Life Insurance. Give us a call today. You won't regret nothing. And we also send you a little bit of the powder. Send you on your way. All right?
This message is meant for the adult, grown folks, black men and women of Chicago. But actually, this message is for all of us. We who are supposed to be adult, grown men and women. In fact, you could really say that this message crosses racial lines. It is meant for anyone who is an adult, so they claim. In Chicago, there's a problem, very serious problem, with black-on-black crime. And the problem has elevated to the point where the leadership is calling for the coming of the National Guard in some attempt that bringing in the National Guard will decrease this rapid rise of black-on-black crime. And as a citizen of any nation or a citizen of any town or city, you should be able to look to your mayors or your governor for help when your safety and the safety of your family is at risk. But clearly, the resources of the mayor is not enough. The Chicago Police Department is powerless in any effort to thwart
the rise of these murders in Chicago. I have not heard a lot about what is going on in Chicago. It has not made news recently, but we know, not only in Chicago, but across this nation, because even here in St. Louis, daily, and I can guarantee you almost weekly, the body count of black people continue to rise. So, once it gets to a certain point in St. Louis, are we also going to cry, we need the National Guard? My time is running out, so let me get straight to my point. It is nice to depend on the police. It is a nice thing to depend on the mayor. It is a nice thing, and you have a right to depend on the leadership from the President of the United States. But if we call or we claim ourselves to be adult, grown men and women, then responsibility also falls upon us. I don't give a care if you got to work a job 8 hours. I don't care how many children you got, and that's the problem. You got these children, but you don't want to protect them. You got neighborhoods, but you don't want to protect the place that you live in. If the police can't do it, if the mayor can't do it, if the governor can't do it, then if we are grown men and adult women, then it is our responsibility to protect our own children, protect our own neighborhood. So they rally in Chicago. Now correct me if I'm in error. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there are thousands of adult grown men and women, at least 18 years old. Well, a lot of the 18-year-old ones, they're the main troublemakers, some of the youth. But you have thousands in Chicago, black men and women. But when they gather their forces to come together to try to come up with some kind of plan or action in order to hinder and make decrease this black-on-black crime, you only get a little handful of folks. But then when this crime affects these bozos and these cowards and these who look the other way, then all of a sudden, my baby, with your ass, when somebody else's baby was being murdered on the street, your ass was at home watching the Housewives of Atlanta. That's what you was doing. With somebody else's baby. You got thousands of grown men and women, black people in the city of Chicago and in this nation. When the police can't handle it, when the mayor don't have the resources and the governor can't do a damn thing, then you need to make time as an adult person. And it is the responsibility of adult people. You got to take action to yourself. Not necessarily becoming vigilantes, because you can work in unison with your police department, but you don't have to allow some of y'all get scared. You're scared of the drug dealers. You're scared of the pimps. You're scared of those wacky folks that's out there, what I call our brothers and sisters that have gone savage. I call them nigger trash. They like being called nigger. I'm just going to add the trash to them, because I'm calling them nigger trash because they have gone savage. They don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about me. So they're not your friend, they're your enemy. They'll take your life and won't think about you no more. And you sit around and let them take over your neighborhood. And you live in fear. You can't even sit out on your doorstep without dodging bullets. And that's That's because the adult people, the so-called mature people, don't want to take responsibility as adult folks, waiting on the police, waiting on the governor and the mayor or whoever to do something that you can do for yourself. In the state of Missouri, it's legal to, you can carry concealed weapons. All over America, you have the right to bear arms. We should not, if you got all these adults, the adults that's doing the right thing outnumber the criminals, why do you allow the criminals to control your speech? And then you got your men. Now, I don't really expect women, but these men who claim they are men, you sit around and you make the babies and you do your thing, you brag about what you did to a woman, now the babies come into being, you can't even protect them. You know why? Because you're watching the Housewives of Atlanta too. But when somebody else's baby gets murdered, it's all right. Let's watch some TV. Then when your baby gets shot by these savages, some of our people have turned savage, now you want to get upset. And you will continue to suffer, waiting on somebody else to do what you can do yourself. There's too many grown men and women in Chicago. There's too many grown men and women in America, black men and women. We should not be in fear in our own neighborhoods, in fear in your own house. Because these thugs are not coming in your house while you're watching the Housewives of Atlanta. You better get involved. Stop sitting on your ass and watching TV in your neighborhood. And you be putting your child in the ground. Because you fail to take responsibility as an adult and protect the children, and men are supposed to protect the women from these people that have turned savage. Thank you for listening to your brother Taalik, Ibn'rad. This was and is. Y'all know, come on. The reality stuff on earth. Peace.
Hey there! Hey everybody! Catch us live at the Gym in 101.5 R&B Feast,
November 6th at Magnus Arena.
Get your tickets now at gympresents.com. We'll see you soon. Now, what was that you were saying earlier, T?
What I was saying was, what you do?
What you do?
Where you at?
Where you at?
Oh, you got plans?
Oh, you got plans?
Don't say that.
Shut your trap.
Unless you here.
Unless you're here.
At the spot.
At the spot.
We got a show.
We got a show.
It's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be hot.
So if you feel the way we feel and you wanna come party tonight, baby, tell us that you're coming through.
We gon' leave the door open.
We gon' leave the door open.
We gon' leave the door open, y'all.
We gon' leave the door open, open.
Y'all coming?
Come on through.
Come on, y'all. We want to see you.
It's going down tonight, y'all. Hey,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy New Year that's coming. EnVogue t-shirts.
Yay!
Woo-hoo!
We have other styles too, so make sure you check out our website.
Definitely. Happy holidays.
Happy
We wish you a Merry Christmas, baby.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, baby.
And such happiness in the coming year. Happiness in the coming years. Happy holidays, everybody.
You know, black people nowhere. You do see blacks, they're not a part of this. It's completely and totally whitewashed. That's another word I like to use. They think white. And a lot of times we're thinking with these so-called civilized people is the way, that's the way of the world, and our world is wrong. We've been misled. We've been in opposition in this country. So therefore, give you a good example. This was what they wanted us to be. There wouldn't be no blues, there wouldn't be no jazz, there wouldn't be no rock and roll from us. A lot of things came from our culture, from our, the very thing that makes us who we are, freed slaves, and through the segregation and the reformation of Abraham Lincoln. It was called the Reconstruction period, and all those things made us who we are. And that's what made us produce the things that we produce.
Right.
And if we were to be what they ourselves, we'll be actually a mirror of what they want us to be, a mirror of themselves. But all in the same token, they saying all the time, but it's many a time. And many a times is more than enough to be concerned with. We can't sit up and think that things don't count when they do count. He don't want you to keep score. Why he keep the score?
Right.
But I think in our own self, just like we lie to ourselves.
Right.
We buy these images, these gangsterism images. Everybody wants to be a thug. Everybody, back in the early 90s, everybody wants to be like Mike. All the young kids want to be like Mike. Now all of a sudden, all the kids, he's going to be, forget preachers. Preachers are under the thumb of the in Rome. You can't even be a preacher unless you go by some guidelines, meet certain guidelines, and have to be accepted. Who controls that?
Right.
Who controls that type of...
In the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always. Welcome to another edition of the Reality's Tip on Earth. With me today we have for Skype. He's going to be with me a whole lot. Via Skype, I have my assistant minister, Brother Andre Edmond, 69. Introduce yourself, brother.
I'm Andre Edmond, 69, student minister of Action for the Reality Tip on Earth. I am in ministries as far as with my own equipment. Like I promised everybody, pretty soon I will be getting my own equipment, just like interviews, and sometimes do my blog talks.
Yes,
talks is not ready for that type of internet ministries yet. So what we do, we will be doing a lot of Skyping. And for the Taalik, I understand that you had a topic that you wanted to talk about, and whatever that subject matter is, why don't you elaborate with the people a little so they can get a better understanding of what's happening, man?
Okay. The topic for these few minutes that I've chosen to speak on is black people can lie also. And that's a true statement. I mean, you have liars in all races. But what I mean by black people can lie also is that this comes from my experience in what we call the black conscious, black liberation, black nationalist movement. As many of you know, I am a former member of the Nation of Islam. And even as far back as maybe 8 or 9 years old, this revolution this movement has been dear to my heart. And I have seen and heard many things. And one of the things that I would like for us to be warned about and to be careful of is that black people can lie. You have those that know I love black people. They know that we care about black folks. And when somebody knows that you care about them, then some of the slicksters, some of the tricksters will take advantage of your love, will take advantage of your terrific purpose. Just like your child. Your child, if you love your child, sometimes many parents will believe their child over any accusations that the police might say or what another adult might say or whatever, because that you love. And a slick trickster type child would do something dirty knowing that they would have the backup of parents because their parents trust them. I'm your baby. You know, they believe that there's some type of loyalty or whatever, that bond between parent and child. So as it is with this black conscious movement, you black people or soul people or Negroes who understand this concept. Now, you will not see me jump quickly on the bandwagon of any black person that is abused or killed or anything by the racist white devils. I'm into that anymore because I have learned that these Negroes, these so-called black folks, have learned how to do these things. So I'm not too quick to jump on board because they will lie. And as you know, our people are involved in all types of things. And then when they get in trouble, and did this, or the white man did that, then this is one of the perfect examples. A few years ago, there was a so-called sister who was crying rape. And I'm not talking about Tawana, I believe that was back in the early 80s or whatever. I'm talking about, this is recent. It was a so-called sister. She was raped by 4 or 5 white men. Okay? Now to the black conscious person, oh, that's so terrible. These old racist devils, they raped our sister. They've been raping our women for 400 years. I'm so sick of it. And they get on the bandwagon and they'll jump on her side and whatever. And she'll skin and grin. And basically in her mind, she know she got you. But see, the problem with this was, since we did not investigate what's on the back of a black woman, it turned out that she was the girlfriend of one of the devils, and these white people practiced passing their girlfriends and wives around. There was no rape. She got upset because of whatever. Then she made this claim that these white men raped her, but that's the type of activity she was involved in, wife swapping and girlfriend swapping. And you know, when you involve stuff, so our older black woman, she's so raped. She was not raped, but when she got angry, she knew she could put this out here, and she knew that we would become emotional because the big bad white man raped the black woman. And as far as I know of today, still with those people. But when you just looking on the outside, looking in, this is such a tragedy. And then all these white men, we're sick of the white man because we did not investigate. We did not allow the story to unfold to see if this really was legitimate. Because we do know. It was so sad and unfortunate for Caucasian people is that they are known to rape black women. They are known to shoot us down dirty in the streets. All these evils, you, the Caucasian people of America, they are known for that. So it is easy for...
Hold on. Taalik, we got to do this over. I got to go straight and shit out. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, that's one of the reasons, not that I do not care about my, because of course you know that we care about black folks. In fact, to make things very, very clear, anybody that has been done, I care about anybody who is living under any oppression, regardless to your race, sexual orientation, or any of that. We should not be, we claim to be civilized, But we like vicious, savage animals talk about only the strong survive. Only the strong survive is in a savage type environment. That is not if you live under a civilized environment. If you live in rule, only the strong survive, then you are not a civilized man. You are not a civilized woman. We are living in a savage state. So if you're living in a savage state, is it a shock that in Chicago, 80 people was killed? Is it a shock that in New York City, 25 people are killed over the weekend? Is it a shock that you can't go nowhere without watching your back, afraid of rape, rob, stab? Because we're living in a savage society. We're not civilized. So that is a lie. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a video in the future talking about how it is better to be a savage than in living in this civilized so-called society. And I want to say this and make this point. You're not going to trick me anymore with those type of things. I also want to say that another thing that I'm fed up with is that you have all these black folks, they don't give a damn about the struggle. They don't give a damn about black rights. They don't give a damn about black issues or racism until they get in trouble. Then when they get in trouble, oh, the racism, oh, the prejudice. But until their child is murdered in the street, until they are denied a job, until something happens to them because they are comfortable, then as long as they're comfortable, the damn thing. But then as soon as something happens, they are not part of the black revolution movement. They don't do nothing for black folks. They don't give a damn about the. But as soon as something happens, then all of a sudden, we're supposed to come out the bandwagon and support these poor people because the devil white man shot a child, or the devil white man raped their daughter, or the devil white man discriminated, didn't give them a job or whatever. All of a sudden, but prior to them being hurt, you don't hear their voices. They didn't participate in no march. They don't participate in no petitions, letter writing campaigns, anything. And I'm going to let you use me trying to help these Negroes who think they, like Florida Evans said on Good Times one time, these niggas I'm done with. Go ahead, brother.
I want to add one thing to that. And a lot of times, a lot of times with that issue, you would actually have people who was, when it's an individual incident with one person, they don't want to get involved. And a lot of times, black politicians, your reverends, and the people that own these churches, they don't want to get involved when it's black issues. But when it's a high-profile case, then they want to peep around the corner and show their whole body then.
Right.
As long as it's an issue that's kind of controversial, peeping around the corner. They don't really want to get involved. But that's kind of a sad display of integrity on their part. Because with these people, they're supposed to stick up for what's right, regardless.
That's right.
Of whatever the case is. Sometimes, in order for you to get things done, you got to be willing to make sacrifices. You got to be willing to get in the lion's. If you're not willing to stick your head in the lion's mouth, you're wasting your damn time.
That's right.
Because you're going to take the safe way out. They always want to take the safe way out. And a lot of times that's ineffective. Man. It really doesn't it doesn't accomplish no ultimate goal, no ultimate objective. It's getting changed for the better for everybody. And a lot of people live in denial about the totality of racism and how it affects other people. They in denial about it. And a lot of times people feel like it's almost like as long as the person getting a biscuit, they happy. See how it is.
Tell them about the biscuit. Tell them about the biscuit.
But see, the biscuit concept I use, the analogy I use is, you got certain people who have jobs. You have certain people who is what I consider to be social, let's say showcases. Where you go to certain companies, you see it in commercials. These are subliminal messages. These are messages sent out to people that everything is equal and everything. But in actuality, it's equal.
Right.
This is just showcases. Where they
I don't do cocaine. I do not do cocaine. No. I do not do cocaine. I don't do cocaine. But these people pay me to advertise So I'm gonna advertise because they pay never to advertise. Now, if y'all do go cocaine, don't say Sniffy taught you to do cocaine. Because I don't do cocaine. No. That ain't the reason why I sniff. Now, there's some of y'all that like methamphetamine. Okay? Alright? So go get you a bag of methamphetamine. Okay? And that'll help you, whatever your problem is, get you a bag of methamphetamine.
Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, A Change Is Gonna Come, it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
Alright. This particular segment is brought to you by Nation of Islam, David Bain. If you really want to fart and stink, get you a can of Nation of Islam, David Bain. They full of fiber and got a lot of other good stuff in the bean. They go through your tummy and it's really yummy. The Nation of Islam Navy Bean, brought to you by Mr. Louis Farrakhan. Nation of Islam Navy Bean. Get you a can today. And you don't have to be high. You don't have to be on drugs in order to enjoy your good can of Nation of Islam Navy Bean. Just like Sister Nandy always say, you ain't a Muslim unless you got your milk and your Navy Bean. Ooh, I love Sister Nandy. Nandy knows she's right. I love Sister Nandy. Get you a can today. Nation of Islam Navy Bean. It's groovy. Take it from Nation of Islam Navy Bean. I don't eat Navy Bean. They go through your boo-boo so you can do-do. Nation of Islam Navy. If I was eating beans, I would be eating Nation of Islam Navy Bean. That's N-O-I-N-O Navy Bean. Good stuff, good stuff.
Komane. Assemble the people, Komane. We will not be defeated by witch doctors' illusions.
Just for this video, I am going to go outside of the norm and attempt, it's very difficult, but I am going to attempt to keep my voice sort of low. Because I don't want to scare nobody, and I don't want to seem threatening. Because y'all know how I do it. But I want to send a message to this sister who made a video about why. Is that a word, why? La? It's a French word, why? I don't know. I'm trying to, anyway. She made a video about me, this sister calling herself Aunt Ruckus. And I want to say to you, sister, that I don't take your comments, your video personal. Because you don't know me. And you are only upset with the message. But usually when we get bad news, you know, just like that guy that's serving the subpoena in court, he's just doing his job. He's just delivering the message. He's just the messenger. So I'm just the messenger. Because you don't know me. You ain't read the message. But my time is running out on these videos, so let me get straight to the point. I even took a couple of notes so I make sure that I address everything that I want to very quickly. This sister, I feel, is a very confused individual. Because she is calling me a black racist, and there's no such thing as a black racist. Because in order for you to have a black racist, you have to have black supremacy. I don't know who recognizes black supremacy or racism. I have never heard the government talk about we have a problem with black racism or anything. It does not exist. Even in countries that's controlled by black people, you have never heard white people complain about white racism in black countries. It don't exist. But you have those people, because we still continue to have a slave mentality, we accept anything that will help us defend against anything that is negative said about white people. It's the same. We still have the same mentality that we got to do to defend white people. But if you notice, white people don't defend us. They don't. You show me. They don't. When folks get to talking about us and calling us jungle bunnies and all like that, they don't come out the woodwork. But we just got to. We just feel we don't defend. We don't defend Chinese. We don't defend Native Americans. But when somebody comes against white people, oh, I hate you. That's what this sister actually said. I hate you. Oh my Lord. Just a few days ago, she said she didn't even know what racism was. And just recently, now all of a sudden she knows what it is. How is that possible? That you increase your knowledge so quickly. This is disturbing. You can't know something, especially something like this. You didn't know nothing a few days ago. Now all of a sudden you're an expert? Something is wrong. You call me a racist because you say I don't like white people. And you don't like Malcolm X because he talk about white people. Your hero is Dr. Martin Luther King. But Dr. Martin Luther King is a racist. You know why? Because his enemy was white people. And Dr. King spoke against the Vietnam War. Who was he speaking to? To stop it. He was speaking to white people. So in your definition, Dr. King, let me tone my voice down. I don't want to scare nobody. Dr. King was a racist. And then you have those, well, racism was outright then. But if racism still exists, then it's still here. And the reason why it exists because you have Caucasian people who still advocating and still behaving in that type of manner. Not all. I never said all, because that would not be true. And it wasn't true during Martin Luther King's day. But the Caucasian racist people, they were the enemy. So Dr. King was a racist. He didn't call them devils, but he knew who his enemies was. So what you're talking about don't make any sense. I never hurt white people. How many white people have I hung? How many white people did I make a slave? I don't call white people hunky or cracker or devils or anything. You said, I ain't never heard me call white people devils. You never heard me. I never written what I call white folks' names, period. I call them, I say, racist Caucasian people. Caucasian is the noun. Racist is the adjective. The adjective describes the noun. So it's a specific person that I'm talking about. And if you are not that person, why are you so upset? And why, sister, are you so upset? Well, you call me a dark European because I like white more. See, you don't understand what a dark European is. A dark European lives and does not care about his people at all. He's just like the slave. The slave existed just for the benefit of his master. And some of us have a mentality, we don't care about black people at all. We're only concerned, make sure that white people are happy. They don't come. Don't hurt them white folks feeling they didn't do nothing straight. That's a dark European. But what about us? They don't care nothing about us. That's a dark European. It's so sad also that on her page on this channel, all these little folks that I had run-ins with, they could not defend their position. Here they come. They can't deal with me one-on-one, so they gather their forces. But you still can't do nothing with Angelsnupnup7 because it's not me you're dealing with. You're dealing with real truth. You're dealing with common sense, logic, and rationale, and reason. It's a lot of things that I said I don't like. If you really be upset if you knew what I really wanted, but it's not about me. It's about telling the truth and bringing us real truth so all humanity, black people, Caucasians, Asians, everybody can benefit. So we can be better. Not just so you can be better than me, or she can be better than me, this race is better. It's about all of us. If we deny this, all of us will go extinct at the rate that we are going. That's the bottom line. So I don't care how black you are, how white you think you are, whatever. If we don't solve this problem and put ourselves on a better direction, I don't care how rich you are, all of us will go extinct. And maybe that might be a good thing if we don't be this stupid. But silly. Then she said that she likes my personality, but I'm a racist. That don't make any sense either. I don't care what kind of personality a hater got. I don't like, that's just like a two saying, well, the Germans, they had a good personality. I still like them because they got good personality. I hate them, but that don't even make any sense. It don't. Sister, you confused. I would suggest to you to sit down and just think a little bit. And stop being emotional like all of y'all are. And think for a change. Emotion hinders proper thinking. My time is out. Jot down your comments. This is your brother Taalik Ibn'rad. This was and is the Realist Temple on earth.
Where do you live? We can handle this like men. I will come to where you are and I will whoop your ass. 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 Where do you live? We can handle this like men. I will come to where you are and I will whoop your ass.
Ellis becomes the first of the divas to offer the world her singular sound. And she does just that on Southern Gal.
I'm Ibn'rad, student minister of Action for the Realist Temple on Earth. You know, when I listen to jazz, man, it's almost, oh wow, it's mesmerizing. Yeah, I'm Ibn'rad, student minister of Action for the Realist Temple on Earth, and I'm making this video here I want to set something straight. A lot of people, how can I put this? A lot of people have a problem with other people talking about things that's in existence. A lot of people believe that if we just pretend like what is doesn't make a difference, or is really not so, that it's not going to affect us. That's what a lot of people believe. That's what a lot of people feel more comfortable believing. They're not willing to accept the entirety of their reality. Well, reality in its whole entirety, however you want to look at it, but that's what the case is. Now, my point is this. Just because a person sees something for the way it is and speaks out on it, you can't hold that person responsible for that thing that he's speaking out against to be. Whether he's speaking out against it or talking about it or speaking in favor of it, he's not responsible for that thing to be. Okay? Let's get that straight. I want that to sink in. If I walk past a house and it's a freshly painted fence, and I say, wow, look at that freshly painted fence, and I go to describing about the fence, that doesn't make me responsible for the condition of that fence. I'm just speaking about that fence in description. If I talk about a job
that has been done that another person did. And I'm saying, wow, they did a great job. That doesn't make me responsible for that job being done in whatever condition it is, whether it's bad or good or whatever. But when I talk about racism, or when I talk about things that a lot of people don't want to talk about, they accuse you of the very thing for being the way it is. A person said once that we talk about race. We are the very reason we create the divide by speaking about it. If I talk out against child molesters, does that make me a child molester? Does that make me responsible because other people are child molesters? I'm only speaking out about something that is in existence, that is. So you can't hold me responsible for something that I talk about just because I talk about it. I only outline the things that are there. I don't create anything. That I create, I bait, race baiting and all that. These are weak-minded people speaking in terms like that, using it. This is their perspective. That I create the divide by talking about the divide that's already there. When we go to a parking lot and we see that some coal tar from seal coating has painted over the yellow lines, the parking lines, and someone comes along, seal coaters, and lay the tar down and then put the lines back, that doesn't necessarily mean that he is responsible for those lines being there in the first place. He just outlining what was already there. So we can't hold him responsible for it. Or, that wouldn't be a good analogy. How about this one? I say, hey, look at those lines. You could tell those used to be parking divided lines there. They don't make me responsible because those parking divided lines there. I'm only speaking about the parking dividing lines that are there. So, same thing with racism. But the key thing is that too many people play a part in those type of things that are there, because even if we don't engage in these acts and these treatments, doesn't mean that we're not responsible for these things to be. A lot of times in my position, I hold people who stand next to people or know of people who are racist or have these type of views just as responsible as the people that don't engage in these activities, because they don't make any effort to try to change these things. Just like if a man was abusing his dog, or a person setting the house on fire, and I just sit back with the knowledge, knowing that this happened, that I allowed to happen. That's why a lot of times, a lot of people that are not racist will speak up and kind of take up for people that are racist, or have an explanation for those people. You just as guilty as they are. Just like if I was to make an excuse for the man that burned the house down, or a man that's abusing his dog, and I don't do nothing about it, and I come up with an explanation for what he's doing, that only displays a twisted mind. And I'm just as guilty as he is. And many of us blacks, we are guilty for the condition of our communities, because we allow our own people to destroy our own environment and our own communities. Yes, I believe that Latinos are actively African Americans' enemies. They are self-appointed enemies. Number 3. Yes, I do believe that whites play a great part in the condition of our people. And a lot of people, just because they got a biscuit, that they think that they making it, just because you got a damn biscuit. And everybody else maybe don't have a biscuit, or maybe they got some crumbs from a biscuit, or whatever. You making it, you happy. But it's not designed for everybody to make it. It's just not designed for that. You just got a biscuit. Now, one thing I want to get straight. Here's my point. We are just as responsible for our communities when we see these young boys out here selling drugs. And they contribute to the destruction of our neighborhoods. Just as whites who are not engaging in racist activity and Mexicans who are not engaging in racist activity stand by knowing that these things are taking place of their own kind, of their own people, and don't do nothing about it. You a part of the problem. I'm a part of the problem because I see these cats running around out here doing it. See, I'm not trying to set myself aside on a high level or low level with anyone. I'm just making that clear that we all play a part in this thing. But if we want to change our communities, black men and black women, we got to stand up and be accounted for. We just have to. We have to stand up and be accounted for because ain't nothing gonna change. And we on the lowest totem pole in society, whether you want to believe it or not. We are our number one enemies in this country. There is so much black hatred, self-hatred, and petty jealousy that it just don't make sense. You got a brother want to kill you because of a certain look, the way you looked at him. That's just pitiful. We spend more time investing in our own image than we doing in our kids' futures. We got to have the latest Jordans. We got to have slick rims, shiny rims, and all these different things. Because we buying in the image, and that's it. And we're not trying to invest in our children's futures. We can't change too much of our own life, but we can work at trying to make things better for our offspring and for our people. And that's something that we really need to take a look at. Now you would probably ask yourself, who am I to point this out? And all I got to do is say, I'm me. Someone that sees it for what it is. If someone asks me what kind of degree I have in what kind of education I have in racism, and fighting against racism, and I'm gonna tell them I don't have no degree or no official education in fighting out against racism, because for one, none exists at all. They don't have no classes and no schools for that. It don't exist. So, thing is, we have to be a little bit more conscious and aware of the part we play in things. Even when we're not engaging in these things, but we see these things happen, and we just sit aside and let it happen. I know that there are some Facebook friends who, which I really don't give a damn, who deleted me from their page because they don't agree with some of the things I say and some of the points I make across. And then we got people that on YouTube that flags us. But I want to make a point. When people delete you and flag you, that shows a sign of intolerance. That's just like another way, particularly in YouTube, when a person flags you and try to shut down your channel, that's just another way of killing you or silencing you. Just another way of doing it. It's just in a, how could I say, electronic fashion. They assassinate you But I want to say this. No one can assassinate you, a human being's character, more than that person can assassinate his own character. I'm Andre W69, student and minister of action for the Realist Temple on Earth. Peace out.
Your living room, as long as it's around your home. Send love to Brother Tyler, but after all is said and done, to bed and go to Louisiana, you're the one. We're here, I can't tell a man not to defend himself. Not at this late stage. Can't tell a man he ain't got no right to nowhere. Not in this day and age. The song may not touch a whole lot of people, persuaded by the truth. But take a look at what's going on, people.